Excel today again this Thursday, 8 a.m. Uh, Joe, how were you in Ibiza last week? I can't remember. You go to Ibiza
No,
so
no.
often.
Last week I taught Microsoft Forms and Planner. So if you were here
Oh,
for
that's
that,
right.
woo!
That's
If
right.
you weren't, check it out. Go check out that video too after this one. It was awesome.
No, it was great. It was actually one of our
Yeah,
best videos in a while. Definitely.
yeah. So Ibiza, when's the next time I'm going? I don't know. I'm trying to stay planted as much as I can, but I'm always being pulled everywhere. But Ibiza is a great place to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then today we have RJ Williams from C Prime here to talk to us about
Yeah.
data analysis. We're gonna dig in. Like how do we use it at work? Like how can we, making visualizing data, and then also just going over some more stories. Everyone's had to work with data. Everyone's had to put together a spreadsheet and present it to their boss, or
Oh yeah.
like any insights you might have gleaned when you were putting that data together. Like maybe you found something that where the company was losing money or something like that, or a place where energy could be focused better. So we're going to delve deep into the topic of data analysis. We really encourage you guys to, put in your questions and comments here in the chat, and we'll definitely answer them. We'll cover anything you guys want to go over, as we always do. I think we answer every single question that comes into the chat, if I'm not mistaken, Joe, or at least we
Yeah.
try.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, we do try. We keep and thank you, Shazan, for your Excel tutorials are awesome. Thank you for that comment. I really appreciate that. Make a video on BI tools. We were actually just talking about that with RJ too. So we'll talk about visualizing data, I'm sure, today. And yeah, keep your eyes and ears out for that because Ben, right? We're going to be kicking out those videos. So I'm sure we could do a Power BI one as well.
yeah, just a quick update for everybody too. I know I've been saying it for a long time that we're going to start rolling videos out, but just yesterday, last night, we got the green light to move forward with everything. So you guys will definitely be seeing. We're building a backlog right now, so we're hoping in June. I know I wanted to start this month, but in June you'll be seeing a video, new recorded videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we'll have Excel today on Thursday as always, and then the offsite events on Friday. So
Oh,
you guys will be seeing daily content coming out from us every single week. But keep dropping the what you guys want us to record. We will move stuff up accordingly. We've been, like I said, we got the green light, so we actually have a lot more resources to reach out and get more topics done. So if there's anything more advanced you guys wanted us to get into, like maybe CompTIA or any of the Microsoft official curriculum classes or anything that's more tech focused or anything like that, we can definitely do those as well. And then like if you guys want us to do Tableau next, just spam up in the comments Tableau, and we'll make a Tableau video.
Tableau.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
go.
but anything you guys want, just let us know, and we will start getting them recorded right away. Again, we are unchained, I guess is the best way to put it, and we can get those videos made for you guys right away. Just drop them in the comments and everything like that. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Oh, yeah, yeah. So before we even get into all of this, thank you so much, RJ, for being here.
yeah,
We're going to get
Oh
into
yeah.
who RJ is, a little bit of background. But before we even do that, we have a segment on the show that we always go through, and it is called Rate Joe's Mug. No, I'm just kidding. I just But, today I have a mug that I know some of you are going to comment and say, Joe, you used that mug, but it's one of my favorite mugs. So I'm just going to show it again because, as you know, I ran out of mugs. I'm going to buy more though at the dollar store, so no worries. So respect your father with Darth Vader.
nice. It's a
I
classic.
love it. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, cheers. What about
Anything
you, Ben?
Star
What are you
Wars.
doing? Right? I love it.
Yeah.
Ben, what are you looking at?
I have my made it to work today, and I bet that for a lot of people, I'm sure you emphasize with this. You made it to work today. I mean, for a lot of us, that's more than half the battle, is just showing up and then get into your work mode, and you just you plow through the day. But getting there is the hardest part.
Yeah.
But I'm here, right?
You're here. You showed. I love it. RJ, what do you have for us today?
All right. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I did find something around the office, and this is a Super Mario Bros. Themed coffee mug. And it's like
That
the
is just
first
awesome.
level, it looks like. But
I
yeah,
love
I'm an
it.
avid gamer, so I thought this was the best one to show off.
Yeah.
In the comments, let me know how many people have just played Mario and kept going. I really love Mario because you just keep going. No matter how many times you fail, you get up and keep going. It's like one of the biggest inspirations for me doing video games. You just keep going.
Yeah. The NES. That's where I got into video games when I was a kid. I mean,
Yeah.
I was 6 when I got my first Nintendo Entertainment System. Really showing my age here because that system is ancient. But
Man, they can do the
I had
math
the
somehow.
Atari.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not that old. I'm not that old. I mean, I'm old, but I ain't that old. Um, But
That's hilarious.
yeah, I remember playing Super Mario, and that cup is awesome, RJ. I want to get that cup now. So you guys are gonna see
Yeah,
me with that mug on this show sooner rather than later.
look forward to it.
Have
Nice.
anyone got a PS5 yet?
Get
Right
out
here,
of here.
this.
Get out.
I'm
No.
sorry. This was lovely. Thanks for inviting me. But yeah, I guess I gotta go.
That
But yeah,
I have been searching everywhere for a PS5. I can't like.
there's a trick if you use the Walmart app. Someone told me a trick and I used it, and I'll tell you off stream. But that
All
it
right.
worked for me. It worked for
All right,
me. So
I'll have to
hopefully it'll
try
work
that
for you.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we
Yeah,
do. I've been begging my wife for a PS5.
yeah.
Actually,
Usually, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Ben. But
Uh,
what I was thinking is this kind of segues into Sony's plan to deliver the PS5, right? Like, take a look at the data from previous launches, right? I don't understand why they didn't leverage data to take a look at, okay, this is how many we need, this is the components we need, because it was a mess by the time they launched this, and it really didn't go well. And this is one of the
Right.
main reasons why these companies look at data analysis. They analyze the data that they've already done in the past to leverage against doing better the next time, or improving some sort of problem that the company is looking at, just like Ben said. So it's a great actually conversation into what RJ does. But yeah, go ahead, Ben, what you were going to say too.
oh no, you already bridged the gap. Like we can just go in with that.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
RJ,
RJ. Yeah.
RJ, why don't you
Yeah.
tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and your work with data analysis?
Yeah, will do. Again, thanks, Joe. Thanks, Ben, for inviting me. It's super exciting.
Mhm.
Hey, everyone. RJ Williams. I work for C Prime, which is a global consulting company, a partner with Learnit, proud partner. And yeah, I'm a product manager, but I come from a marketing background, a marketing analytics background. So a lot of the data that I work with is sales data, CRM data, e-commerce data. Like if you name it, for customer interactions and just pooling information and getting to know our customers and our market better to make better decisions, like Sony probably should have with the supply chain and the ordering. That's kind of my wheelhouse, and it's really all focused around training mostly. Uh, where that be like public training, on-site training, e-learnings, videos. I consume a lot of data analysis, and I try to make informed decisions with that data.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah,
great.
that's what it's all about. I love that. Um,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, we could jump right into it. I mean, we were already
Yeah.
kind of talking about it, like Joe, you were talking about it, is asking the right questions. Like when you are
Yeah.
putting data together and everything like that, I think the best thing to ask is like, what are you trying to get out of this data, or like, what is your goal of this
For
data?
sure.
That's how
Yeah.
I
What's
approach
that end goal? What is the end goal?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Do you have
focused
any?
on outcomes. Yeah, like
Yeah.
really think about because I'm guilty of this, especially earlier in my career, where I was just kind of looking and poking around data, like just data, explore. There's room for exploratory
Yeah.
analysis, but a lot of times having that focus of a goal or outcome or a question is so important to making sure that like your analysis is your efforts on the analysis is going to be fruitful in the end, or at least improve that chance for it to be fruitful when you have that in mind.
Do you have
Exactly.
any tips or anything like that for people who are putting the data together, anything like that? Like any of your
Yeah.
tools or anything like that that you use to get those questions asked, or try to find that end goal?
Yeah, it's really keeping it simple and talking to the right stakeholders. If it's
Mhm.
because a lot of times people, in my experience, it's about 50-50 shot if the person knows exactly what they want. So it's really on
True.
you as if you're analyzing the data to like have interview questions like, all right, in a perfect world, what do you need? What's a nice to have? What's something that you currently are using, and what's wrong with maybe that report or that dashboard? Like, show me what your current state is, and then asking the questions like, how can you improve what you're currently using? I find that to be super helpful because, again, our team use Excel, Power BI, Salesforce reports, and a lot of times there's some limitations depending on what type of BI tool or reporting tool you use. So, like, what is asking and like viewing what their current state is and seeing how we can improve it with maybe another tool or maybe a different usage of the current tool is a big way for me to kind of hone in and ask the right questions.
Nice. Yeah, that's what it's all about, asking, finding the solutions, right? It's a lot of times hard for these companies to just outright tell you because they don't know themselves
Hmm.
what the issue is. So you kind of do have to pry and you have to ask the right questions. It's all about that, right? Um, and we've done it a ton of times. I mean, when we're trying to talk to a client about what the problem is, that's the first thing we do is we ask a lot of those questions like, you know, how do you do this, or what would you envision in the future? And then
Hmm.
essentially, once we get those pain points that they have, then we can come up with a solution to. Yeah, and it's all about that data, though, right? It really
Mm,
is about what they've been doing so far. So, um,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah. How
not a
clean?
lot of
How
big
clean is your data? Is a good question.
Yeah,
Like,
I
how
think that's the big one right
reliable?
there.
that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Um,
sure everyone watching has had to clean their data or clean up their Excel spreadsheet or pull multiple stuff from all over the places and get it all in one central place. I mean, I know one thing that we struggled with a few years ago was data silos. Just like, every
Hmm.
single thing had their own data
yep.
sets and their own programs for tracking it and everything like that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I feel a lot of times acquisition like companies were acquiring a lot of companies acquisitions that those data silos, especially when you're coming from another organization and like blending it all together. Even if you're saying you're all under the same umbrella, there's so many things in different systems and integration takes a long time. So that is a big pain point that I feel like a lot of people can relate to.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it looks like we got a
A
question already.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, let's put one up here. Oneness Earth asks, "Hello guys, I'm from India. Do you think Excel more useful in the future?" I think Excel is always going to be more
Oh
useful in the
yeah.
future, and it's just a
Mhm.
cornerstone of every single business. Especially here in the United States, like everyone's dealing with spreadsheets, and if it's not
Mhm.
Excel, it's going to be Google Sheets. Like just being able to work in a spreadsheet application, it's always going to be useful, no matter what. It's again, it's the cornerstone. I would say every business uses Excel or some form of Excel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like whether it's Google Sheets or whatnot. And if you
Yeah.
guys want to train up on that, again, like our video has tons of Excel videos.
Oh
Joe's done a
yeah.
lot of videos on Google Sheets, so you guys can learn how to use spreadsheets a ton here on our channel. We have tons of videos, tons of playlists. You guys will become spreadsheet masters. But yes,
Yeah.
Excel is going to be useful for a long time. Nothing's replacing it. I know a lot of people talk about,
Yeah.
like Python and all that type of stuff, but they're really talking about automating Excel or automating other type of
Right.
data spreadsheet programs, not replacing those spreadsheet programs. So those are definitely going to be useful at least for the next 10 years, I would say,
Oh
minimum.
yeah. And there's
Minimum.
But
companies
Yeah.
that are doing that. They're actually coming in and starting to use Excel to manage their data. So I mean, RJ, how many times have, I know you said you use a lot of the Salesforce reports as well.
Mhm.
I mean, primarily, what would you say most of the data is in? Right. I mean,
Yeah, it's in the Salesforce, but a lot of times we export it into, guess what, an Excel
yes,
spreadsheet. A lot of
exactly
times
right.
to
Yeah.
manipulate it. Like, I totally agree with both of you saying that Excel I like that word cornerstone of many businesses, small to large enterprises, from like a coffee shop who's just doing their accounting in an Excel spreadsheet, all the way to the biggest corporations. You can name them. Are using Excel, and I don't see anything, replacing Excel anytime soon. I think that 10-year minimum, you can bet your hat on that.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's a lot of times, no matter what the data source is, a lot of times it will, in my experience, in an Excel, and that's why I'm comfortable with Excel. I got taught it a couple classes in college. Didn't think it was going to be super helpful, but in my first job, they were realizing that there was kind of a data analysis, marketing analytics, just decision making was based on use. There's a lot of gut, decision based making, and kind of
Yeah.
coming in as like a young whippersnapper, like, okay, I know Excel, like we can export this and like analyze data that way, pivot tables, doing some Excel. It really shows a value, and you can really opened up the eyes of people who maybe aren't super comfortable with data or Excel and just like to the possibilities. So and it's just easy to digest too. I feel like anyone can understand an Excel spreadsheet if it's, formatted correctly and, easy to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, formatting. Yeah, that's a big one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's a
I've
big
seen
one.
some
Yeah,
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy data
same.
sets there.
Yeah. Well,
But
Yeah,
I mean, one of the best ways to format your data and make it easy to digestible is to visualize it for sure. Like,
oh yeah,
and
yes,
so I know that's something we were talking about here was just like, like making data easy to visualize. Um, Joe, I don't know if any of you guys want to share your screen, if you want to pull up some examples. I'm not putting you on the spot or anything like that, or if you guys just want to talk about like, like how do you approach visualizing data? Like, for me, like I know with some of my stakeholders, I know like what kinds of graphs, or maybe they were going to respond more to a pie chart and stuff like that. Those are the types of thought processes I go through, when I'm looking to visualize data is like, like what's the best way to do it? Should I animate it and all that type of stuff? Do you guys have any tips or anything like that on what's the best way to make data easy to visualize?
well, RJ, I'll let you
yeah,
take that one. Yeah, definitely, and I'll
yeah.
jump
I
in.
got some. Yeah, if I tipped off the top of my head right here is I like to keep it super simple, especially when it comes to like how many visualizations or different icons that you see on like at once.
Yeah,
I'm guilty in the past to load up one page with like 6 or 7 different like, oh, here's a line chart here, here's a pie chart here, here's like a graph here, and like and I was told, I'm like, hey, this is a lot to look at. I was just like, no, this is all you needed, right? But I'm like, just splitting it up into different pages and just kind of making sure those labels, no matter what tool you're using, Power BI, Google Data Studio, Tableau, any, just making it simple and just like the information is not compact. Just make it readable. And I think complexity
yeah.
can almost muddy the story that you're trying to tell. So try to make sure that you're just keeping it as simple as possible. It's easy in theory, but like when you have that in your mind when you're designing some type of visualization, a report, or a dashboard, I find that just having that keep it simple in my mind makes the world of difference.
Well, RJ, I have to say I completely agree with you. Especially you mentioned that key word, which is storytelling, telling the
Yeah.
story. And the
Right.
way that we approach it is, first off, you have to know your audience, right? You have to know
Hmm.
who your audience is, who are you presenting these visualizations to, and then you have to make sure that you do break it down into a simplistic form. And like you said, it could muddy it up because I've seen Power BI visuals that have just been just boom, 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 and that's not
Hmm.
what you're trying to do. Essentially,
Yeah.
we're all human beings. We're not computers, and a lot of people don't get when we're looking at data sets that's still known as raw data because we're just looking at a bunch of just data in its finest, and we can't, as human beings, compute it. That's why we created computers, right?
Right. Right.
so,
Exactly.
so we're more visual, and even then, since we're more visual, if you put too many visuals on the screen at once, you're just not digesting the information, and that's what you're
Right.
trying to get across. You're trying to tell the story, know your audience, show them what you want to show them, so that they can have a takeaway when they walk out of the room or walk off of the site and they're like, "Oh, I get what RJ was trying to tell me. Now I understand it. Now I can use that information to go do my job better or whatever you're trying to get across." So
For
I
sure.
completely agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And you kind of got into a topic that RJ and I were talking about yesterday, and that's like data literacy. You were talking about the raw data sets and everything like that, and like how do
Hmm.
we infer from that? I know that C Prime has a data literacy uh, program that they have, and RJ,
Right.
did you maybe want to tell us about like what that entails and like what someone could get out of that?
Yeah, yeah. So data literacy is so important as far as like because everyone is armed. You don't have to be a BI developer, a visualizer, a data engineer anymore because we're all interacting with data sets. And if you don't have that, just a base fundamental level of kind of like what type of formats, what is different types of, yeah, formats of your data, how to read it, how to visualize it, how to look at it, the questions to ask, because a lot of times what Joe was talking about, knowing your audience, if your audience has no fundamental understanding of data, it's going to make that story almost impossible to tell, right? So we have just a 2 hour e-learning that really fundamental for people who are just not really, I don't want, like, again, like it's something that a lot of, I don't want to disparage anyone, but for not being data literate, that's why we made this this e-learning program. But it is something that's super important uh, to get across and just have a base level of understanding. So that's pretty much what the e-learning does. It goes over concepts, different visuals, like what's the difference between a report and a dashboard? What's the difference between the data from like a nominal versus there's so much to go into it, but it's just a high level take, so it makes anyone else feel comfortable uh, at least viewing and digesting data if they're not going to be actually manipulating it themselves. So that's kind of the program
Yeah.
I
in
love
a
that.
nutshell.
Sounds like a great course for like anyone
Yeah.
that's going to be entering office work. If you guys have never done office work, there's a lot of stuff people
Right.
assume that you already know, and that's a great place to
Yes.
pick up those concepts and what those would be in the office. And anyone that's a recent college grad, the number one thing that we're told from employers, I mean, we train RJ's company and our company, we train with Fortune 500 companies all the time. That's our main business, 90% of it, and they all want to fill that skill gap for recent college grads to have that office understanding of concepts and stuff like that. And I know they don't teach in college. I graduated from the University of Hawaii, and I didn't learn any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I wish I had a course like that, so where I could, like I would go in and out, when people start talking about data sets and just some basic business concepts, that I wouldn't feel so lost in those meetings when I was first, working in my first office environments. So there's definitely
Yeah.
a ton of value that anyone could get out of that class. And
Yeah.
I think we're going to be doing a voucher giveaway for that, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to have a voucher for the e-learning. So
Right.
again, just real quick, you guys, you know what it is. It's hashtag Excel Today or hashtag C Prime. Just put it in, do that on Twitter. And I'm just going to randomly choose one of you guys, and I will DM you to get you the voucher, and you can redeem it for a free class there. So
Great.
just a quick our quick plug for that. And then,
Yeah. There you go. That's
do you guys,
awesome.
yeah. And I think the last thing we wanted to jump into before we run out of time today is just, like war stories. Do any, like you guys have any, I know I have one because we were talking about it earlier, because I just did a large presentation for the day with doing data analysis and everything like that. And I had a very long week, I should say, just delving deep into data. But
Yeah.
Joe, did you have any like data analysis war stories or anything like that?
I mean, well, yeah, it's going to be very similar to yours. So a lot of times, I think the biggest thing for me, since I am doing a lot of trainings and stuff, is being able to go into different companies' data sets, right? And everyone's coming from a different point of view. The most, I guess the most recent one would just be with Learnit. Is I had to analyze the data to see, the usage of our Learnit Anytime, which, if you don't know, most of our videos are on YouTube now, and we migrated from that. But just taking a look at that data, I think the biggest thing was it was all coming from different places. So I had to consolidate the data first. And then after that consolidation, some things were a little different on all the sheets. So it was like a big cleanup. And I actually used Power Query to do it, which, if you don't know what Power Query is, no worries. What it does is it queries the data, it connects to it, and you can quickly transform it to what your needs are. It's not transforming the actual file. The data set stays the same. Your original data is there, but it's sort of like if I have 5 columns with name, address, phone number, and I'm like, I don't need the address and the phone number. I could transform it without affecting the original file, and then I can visualize what I need to visualize. So it's essentially like filtering data for what you need or querying it. So yeah, that's pretty much my war story. I put a lot of hours into that, transforming the data, and then trying to visualize and see. And that's part of why we're doing this. This is really important. We've heard everyone say it would be nice if we can access those trainings a lot more. It'd be nice if we can kind of ask questions to experts. And here we are in Excel today, right? So no pun there, but yeah, we're here today with Excel today. And
I like it.
so yeah, I think that would be my war story. Nothing too crazy, but it's a lot. It is a lot. It's going back to that storytelling. Know your audience. Know what questions to ask. Know who the stakeholders are, right?
Yeah.
And figure out what you can leverage using that data, and what solutions you could come out of it. So
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
Those outcomes. Focus on those outcomes.
You have any grand war stories of data analysis, RJ?
Yeah, there's one that I'm particularly was harrowing, I guess. But uh, back I worked for a company who their primary marketing budget, most of the marketing budget was for direct mail, right? And this was only a couple years ago, so it was very expensive, and it's something that we it was for years and years, for decades. That's what we really funneled our money into, and we were seeing diminishing returns years and year over year. So it was something where we still thought that it was hard to track, I guess, the effectiveness of direct mail, but there were some assumptions that people had, like, hey, if we mail it in certain markets here.
Oh, I think RJ dropped.
Yeah, we might have lost RJ there.
All right, let me just.
Nope.
Am I
There we
am I
go.
Oh,
back?
there we go.
Back.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that. But now I'll just rewind. But long story short, since we're going to a thing, there was a lot of much senior people higher than I was, and they were adamant about the effectiveness of direct mail marketing. And I did data. I went into Salesforce. I went into Google Analytics. I was looking at many different sources, and I put a presentation together trying to like debunk some of the assumptions that were um, and not I was trying to like confirm or deny, like, is the data statistical analysis, like, is this accurate? And a lot of the assumptions that we had were not right, based on my findings. And there was a lot of cleaning data, there's a lot of interviewing stakeholders, almost everything that we talk about today. And I had to paint a story basically saying, I think we need to shift from a more direct market mail marketing based strategy to a more digital marketing, because we were seeing returns just from the little bit of budget that we were allocating, compared to the large amount of budget we were allocating towards direct mail marketing. We were getting higher returns, and I showed those higher returns with digital marketing. So it was a lot of analysis. It was a lot of winning people over, showing the data, challenging assumptions, and telling a story. And we don't really work with direct mail. I don't think that company does work with direct mail marketing anymore. And yeah, it was all about making the story and like not having an agenda, but I just wanted to make sure that we were on the right track. So that's definitely a war story. That took probably a month and a half of digging into it, but worth it.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
painting
never know what that
rosy.
story is going to be, right? Like
Oh,
everyone had
Uh,
assumptions about what might come through when you actually analyze the data, but then you'll
yeah,
have a surprise finding, like like you said, now they're no longer doing the direct mailing;
yeah,
they're more on the digital
yeah.
side. It can
I'm
change
all in the digital
businesses.
side
Yeah, it can completely change a whole business process.
I love
for
So
that.
sure.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll just do a quick one on just like how our YouTube channel really got turbo juiced a couple years ago. Like we did start a YouTube channel a long time ago, but we didn't really put a lot of effort into it. And I went and I was just kicking the tires on what was making the company money, and I saw that YouTube was still producing. So I was able to quickly put together a sheet and just be like, hey, like we're still making money here. We could definitely do more, and that's how our channel became what it is right now. Is just we were able to get those numbers in front of people who thought it mattered a lot, and we were able to
Mm.
transform our channel from having a bunch of random videos into a more cohesive thing that we have today. But you can definitely make major transformations at your companies and stuff like that by doing data analysis. I mean, RJ's thing changed the whole way that the company did business. And
Yeah,
those
yeah.
types of
You
things.
start like a new business line.
Yeah, you can start a whole new business line. And like
Yeah.
we're talking about this whole journey of doing data analysis and everything like that. And we do have a class, the data analysis bootcamp, that kind of will help you train up on how to take that journey, like how to ask those questions, how to massage the data, how to tell that story, and how to get, to formalize your final report, so to speak. And so we do have a link to that class. It's a data analysis bootcamp. We actually have one coming up, I think next week, or is that the business analysis bootcamp? I think it's a business analysis one, but it's one of our top
Mhm.
classes. And so if you guys are more interested in learning a lot, having a much bigger deep dive into data analysis, we have that boot camp. The link is in the video description if you want to check it out. I know it's more expensive than our normal classes, but if you're in data analysis, you're working on Power BI, and you want to, strengthen your game on how to tell that story and how to be more effective with doing data analysis, this is definitely the class for you. And there's tons of options if you guys want to go check that link out. We have a lot of dates available, and if you don't see any dates available, reach out to us. Um, I know over at C Prime, you guys are teaching that class like every other week. So there's
Yep.
tons of dates and we can fit almost any time frame for you guys. Well, that kind of wraps it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
fine.
one question
Yeah. All right. Let me get to
from
it.
Nikhil that I saw.
You saw another one?
Yeah, I saw both of those. So where do we clean the data and how to identify it? Just real quick, cleaning the data, there's multiple ways to clean data. I typically go with the Power Query side of things because I can query it and then visualize it or transform it any way that I want. But essentially, there's so many tools that, we could do like a bunch of videos on how do we clean the data up. Really, it's just essentially the main point is looking at the data, seeing what you don't need out of that data set, and focusing on what you can use to leverage and make decisions and solve problems with that data. So that's where you would come into like cleaning that data. There's so many different places to do it. So great question, Vivek. And then Nikhil, I saw
Great
you
question.
had a question about, are stored SQL procedures using VBA and Ado significantly faster than normal root? The problem with SQL procedures are that it doesn't give you much feedback. So typically what I would do is just use the web application code, whatever you're already utilizing for that data set. People would disagree, so I guess it's more of like an opinion of mine, but I really think that the main point with the SQL procedures is that you do have to use those other codes, and I forget what they are. I think one's like T-SQL, or there's so many different codes, or W SQL. They use their own coding internally, and I don't like doing that. So I'll just utilize the web applications code. And that's going the normal route, as you said. So I think the normal route is faster, even though people would, be like, Joe, maybe the SQL procedures are faster. I don't think so, because there's no feedback that you get. There's no back data that you can get from it. So, but yeah, thank you both so much, and thank you, RJ, just for being here. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's great talk with you today. And then, yeah, and I just wanted to also say, like, at least for me, I like to do SQL queries just to get a large
Yeah.
data set, and that's what I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
to clean up.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys have any more questions, any last second questions, we probably answer one more question. If not, we will start to wrap up here.
Sorry, team. I think I'm having some slowed down internet, but
Oh, that's no problem. We'll just wrap it up here, RJ, real quick.
It's the whole world is using all the internet. That's what that is.
Anyways, just to wrap up, guys, next week's show is we're going to have Chelsea back on. Topic to be determined. We did have a topic that we wanted to do, but it fell apart a little bit. But Chelsea will be here next week. We'll be talking Excel, VBA, Power BI. You guys know what we do here with that. Maybe we'll have the data sheet that you guys can follow along or something like that. But we'll be putting that together after. I am putting together a few more guests. I think we're going to have Carly from Offsite coming on in a couple weeks to. In June or in early June to talk to us about Offsite. I have another person. His name is Conrad. He's going to talk to us about organizational justice. That's going to be in July. But we're booking a lot of guests, so you're going to see a lot more guests here on the show. And again, I do want to remind everyone, you are going to see videos coming out. I know I say it every week, but they're going to start coming out. They're going to be, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be our release dates for those, and then our live events will be Thursday, Friday. So you guys are going to get a lot more training. And again, please let us know what you want us to make videos on. I saw a few your question here about let's see, let's take one. I know I had one here. Yeah, Power BI, advanced Excel functions useful to inventory management. If you want to maybe write it, our email address is available on our YouTube page. If you want to, maybe write a more detailed thing about what you would want to see in that type of class or something like that, that's possible. We can make a video about it. But just let us know. We have over 150 topics that we're already going to be recording. So if you guys want, we're always open to more suggestions and to making videos that are, useful to you guys and useful to how you guys, work. That's what we do. We're a training company, and we're helping to train people to work. So, RJ's back. Let's get him on real quick. Hey, RJ, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
The office internet. First week back in the office, and we're still working out some kinks here.
No
So
problem.
yeah, they're coming back from COVID retirement, so they're tired. The actual devices themselves are like, we're not ready.
Yeah, exactly. They're out of shape, just like
Yeah,
most of us
yeah,
are, like me.
exactly. Me
Yeah, I
too.
think we all have that COVID 10 or 15 or even 19, right?
Right.
I'm at the 19. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely am. I'm 19 plus.
Oh, I definitely, yeah, I put on some fun
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Most people did.
Lori,
Yeah.
Lori
Yeah.
says buttons in Power BI. You want to learn about buttons?
Hmm.
If we don't have any guests coming up, I can actually do a little segment on the show itself for buttons and Power BI, and I'll show you how those interact with each other and how we can, create links and all this other fun stuff. So yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Live session about Power BI. All right. We've got a lot of requests. So like, hey guys, we're gonna do it. So
I'll do it.
yeah. So
Do it.
the show on the
Work on
27th is gonna be a Power BI show. You guys come and ask your questions about Power BI, and we will answer all of them. If you guys have spreadsheets you guys are working on and stuff like that, or that you need certain help on a certain thing, just let us know, and we will work on them with you here on the show. I mean, that's what we're here to do, is help you guys, give you guys information about how to work better in the office, and then also we want to help you guys do your work better. That's why we exist. But I think we're way over.
Yeah.
I want to thank RJ for coming onto the show. You
Yes.
brought a
Thanks for
lot of
having me.
great
so
thought
much.
and analysis to here, and it's always great to have a guest and to have somebody outside of Learnit to come talk to everybody. And it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, thank
really.
you so much. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
really fun to talking with y'all. Hopefully, I'm curious about that Power BI stuff. You might see me in the chat on the
All right,
27th.
there you
Hey,
go.
if you want to be on the show, you're more than welcome to show up, and we can all nerd out on Power BI together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have so much fun doing it. We'll have two experts, but this isn't the last time we're gonna see RJ. So we'll have RJ on again, I'm sure.
Yeah.
With that said, thanks everyone.
Yeah.
Please
Thanks,
like,
everyone.
subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.
Yep. Like and subscribe. It helps a lot.
All right. Bye, everyone.